What's up, homies? It's Ryan, and today we are here for the 27th episode of our Miami Marlins franchise here on Out of the Park Baseball 18. It is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Your Marlins 73 and 69. We are 4.5 games back in the NL East and 3.5 back in the wild card race. So those additions of Edmundo Sosa and Ozzie Albies seem to have really helped the team out. If we take a look at Sosa, he has an OPS of 847 since he came over from Detroit to Miami, so he has kind of tailed off a bit, but still he does have 10 home runs, and he is overall slashing 248, 364, 483. He's been close to a one-win player since coming over, so he has helped. And if you take a look at Albies, he's another guy that has kind of tailed off from how he started the season with the Atlanta Braves. With the Braves, he had an 865 OPS. Over here, he only has a 711 OPS, but he has been close to a one-win player as well, which would indicate to me that offensively he's been fine and defensively he has not hurt us. So Ozzie Albies and Edmundo Sosa look so far to have helped us out. If we take a look at the team info, in August we went 13 and 14, but in September we have gone on a massive run. We are 12 and 2 in the month of September. If we take a look at the schedule, there was something that really hurt us. So you see this stretch here in August starting with this San Diego series, this 4-game set against San Diego, and then 3 games against the Angels and 2 games against the Braves. We went 2-8 in this stretch, including we lost 6 straight, and then you see, we lost 6 straight, so that's 6, 7, 8, starting with this game against Seattle. We went 2-8 over a 10-game stretch, which was pretty rough. At the start of September, we found ourselves 8 games out of the wild card race. So I was like, okay, here we go again, because I believe we were 61 and 67, if I remember correctly, at some point in August during this losing streak. But we have since roared back. Oh yeah, we were 61 and 67 at the start of September, excuse me. But we have since roared back, and now we are in a good position to make a playoff push. And if nothing else, I think we can definitely finish 500. Take a look here at the schedule. 3 games against the Phillies, 3 games against the Diamondbacks, another 3 games against the Phillies, who are currently ahead of us in the standings. We have 4 games against the Braves, and then we have, 3 games against the Nationals, who are currently first in the division. And we end the season with a 4-game set at home against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So let's see. So we have some time, obviously, to make up ground in both the wild card race and the divisional race. I mean, it's still, both of them are still possible for us to get it. We could get a divisional spot if everything goes right, but we could also get a wild card spot if everything goes right. Right now, we're really just chasing the teams in our division. We're chasing Washington in the NL East, and then in the wild card race, we're chasing New York, Philadelphia, and Los Angeles as well, but Atlanta's right behind us too. So the NL East seems to be actually one of the better divisions in baseball this year, it would seem. So without further ado, I'm going to do what we did, I believe, just once before. We're going to go game by game here. So 4.5 back in the NL East, 3.5 back in the wild card standings. Let's start simulating with this 3-game set against the Phillies and then see where we are. We can overtake the Phillies in the standings here if we take, a sweep would be nice. I keep saying, you guys heard me say it a lot last year during the Angels series. This is the time of year when you can't really afford to just take 2 out of 3. You have to start sweeping teams, especially the teams that are ahead of you in the standings. And 6 games against the Phillies here, 4 games against the Braves, 3 games against the Nationals. We have a perfect opportunity to do that. And you see what I'm talking about here. We swept the Mets, we swept the Nationals. That was huge. And now we'll get another chance to play the Nationals in a couple of weeks. But anyway, here we go. First series here against the Phillies. Let's see if we can sweep them. That would be fantastic. So first game, it's going to be it's pretty anticlimactic here. Come on. I cannot really afford, 2 out of 3. That's the bare minimum. And we lose the first game. So we already have our backs against the wall. Washington won. So now we are 5.5 back in the NL East. So we need to win these 2 games. No doubt about it. We win that one 2-1. So rubber match here against the Phillies. We need to take this game if we want to stay alive. And as we see, we are scouting players, and we do. So we do take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. So we start that So we start that about as far back as we were. That was a very bad way to put it. I'm sorry. But we started that series 4.5 games back. We are still 4.5 games back, but we have overtaken the Phillies in the standings. And now we are just 2.5 back in the wild card race. We are now chasing the Milwaukee Brewers. Or no, we're not chasing the Milwaukee Brewers. We're chasing whatever Central team does not win the division, and we are chasing the New York Mets. So let's see what we can do here. Now we have a 3-game set against the Diamondbacks, who I don't believe are all that good. They might be, I don't know. Yeah, they are 62-84, 5th in the NL West. So this is a team that you really need to take advantage of and sweep. Let's see what pitchers, and we have Delgado, Baumann, and Doherty going. So that should be at least 2 wins right there with Delgado and Doherty. So let's go. 3-game set against the Diamondbacks. Let's see what this team can do. Keep the good times rolling. And we lose the first game again, which is not good. So now it's up to Baumann and Doherty to bring us back here and win these 2 games. We lose 2 games already against the Diamondbacks. You cannot get swept. That would be awful if we get swept here. Let's see. Can we at least pick up a win? Doherty on the mound. Our ace on the mound. Can we pick up the W? No, we do not. We get swept by the Diamondbacks. Now we are 5.5 back, 6 games back in the NL East, and we are 5 back in the NL wildcard race. That sweep is a killer. We cannot afford to let that happen. But now our next 3, 6, 10 games are against divisional opponents. So perfect timing. Another set against the Phillies here. Let's see if we can sweep them. We have our 2, 3, 4 pitchers going. Let's see if we can take these. First game here against the Phillies, and we lose the first game again. We are now on a 4-game losing streak, which is not very good. We are starting to fall apart. Let's see if we can win the second game. No, we don't. So while we are on a 5-game losing streak, I'm not too concerned about that. 7 games back in the NL East, and we are now not even within 5 games of the wild card. So that's not good. We are really falling apart at the worst possible time. And now here we go. Another game against the Phillies, and we do win that one, so we do salvage at least 1 game. Luis Estrada, he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, no, that's not good. That is not good at all. Okay, well, that's the power in our lineup is now officially gone, so that is not good. That is not good at all. I'm just going to let the bench coach worry about it because we are in the middle of a playoff push now. So here we go. Doubleheader against the Braves, September 26th. We need to win both of these games. And we win one of them. So we are 77-76. Playoffs are out of the question. Braxton Garrett, day-to-day injury. We win that game against the Braves. So now we are 6 back in the wildcard race. But we're done. We are basically out of the playoffs at this point. We're not going to make it. Too little, too late. That 5-game losing streak was an absolute killer. We just faltered at the completely wrong time. We got swept by a team that was last in their division as we take 3 out of 4 from the Braves. We falter to a team that, we shouldn't have faltered against, and, it is what it is. So we do win against Washington, so now we are 5 games back in the NL East, but we have 4 games left. We are 4.5 back. We have 5 games. So technically we're not eliminated yet. A loss here to the Nationals would eliminate us, but the one thing we have done is secure ourselves a 500 record for the first time in quite a while. You take a look here at the team history. This is the first time the team has gone at least 500 since 2009. So if nothing else, there's progress being made in that aspect, but still to be so close to the playoffs, and now we're not even going to get there. It does kind of stink. So let's see here. We cannot lose if we want to keep our slim playoff chances alive, and we don't lose. So now we are 3.5 back in the wild card race. So Chicago or Milwaukee has already clinched a playoff spot. It just depends on which one of them wins the NL Central. So now we are basically just chasing Washington. So that sweep actually helped us out a lot. We took 3 games from the Nationals, which means we are still alive. We do not have a chance at the division anymore, but the wild card is our only chance. So we have to win all 4 of these games just to have a chance. We are 3.5 back with 4 games to play. So let's see what happens here. We'll just watch the standings here, and we'll take a look at this upcoming schedule here at the top right. So we have Garrett, Mejia, Delgado, and Baumann going. So we'll see if we can get it going. First game here against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now let's take a look here at Pittsburgh. I don't know how good they are. So the Pirates 69 and 89, one of the worst teams in the league, it would seem. So this is a team that we absolutely need to sweep, and then we need some help. I don't know who Washington is playing. Let's take a look at that. Washington. Let's take a look here to see who Washington is playing. They have a 3-game set against the Atlanta Braves, who are currently last in the NL East. So we have our work cut out for us, but let's see. First game against the Pirates. If we lose this, we are eliminated, I believe. So let's hope we win this. And we lose to Pittsburgh. Officially eliminated are your Miami Marlins. We lose that first game 2-0. It's a story of the season. The offense just doesn't show up. Let's see how many games this team can actually win. We're currently at 82. Let's see. So we get to 83 wins. Can we get to 85 perhaps? No, 84. Can we get to 84 wins? Yes, we can. And the last game of the season, our backup catcher is out for 2 months. So your Miami Marlins finished the 2025 season at 84 and 78. We finished third in the NL East. So if we had won both of those games that we lost against the Pirates, that would have put us at 86 wins. So we still would have been out of the playoffs, even if we did sweep the Pirates. We would have just finished 1 game out. As it is, we finished 3 games out in the wild card race. And there's my dog barking, so hold on 1 second. All right, we are back 2 episodes in a row after not happening for quite a while, which is pretty funny. But yeah, so if we did sweep the Pirates, we would not have made it into playoffs. But still, a very good season, I think, for the Marlins. We just faltered at the wrong time. You see, we ended up going 20-9 in September and 3-2 in October. So we finished with the best record, as I said, since 2009 when the team went 87-75. We finished with a 239 team average. So that's what it was. I said it multiple times the past couple episodes. If this offense was just league average, we would have been great. Because look at that team ERA. I believe that is by far the lowest team ERA in team history, a 3.39 team ERA. If you take a look at the team home screen, we were first in runs against, second in starters ERA, first in bullpen ERA, 6th in defensive efficiency. So we did end up improving, and we almost became a top 5 defensive team. But still, it's just the offense killed us. Even with the additions of Sosa and Albies, we were 15th in runs scored, 14th in batting average, 14th in OBP, 15th in home runs, 14th in stolen bases. Now, I'm hoping that with the additions of Sosa and Albies for a full season, that will help us out a lot more. And then we might actually bring back Estrada, I think, because he kind of turned it on as the season kept going. He ended up with 32 home runs. He was about a 2-win player. So, I mean, I don't know what maybe we can look for. Maybe we can try to make an upgrade at catcher to maybe get another, bat in there, but still it would be tough. Now, how long do we have Vasquez for? So we still have him for next year, which is good. So it's a good thing that we didn't trade him, I suppose, because now he got to be part of a playoff push. But actually, maybe we make an upgrade at third base again, I suppose. Yeah, because maybe we find maybe Carpio can become our backup infielder, and maybe, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we find an upgrade somewhere in the infield, because Albies can play second or short. Sosa can play short, I guess. I don't really want to try him at third. Yeah, so Estrada can only play first. Yeah, maybe we find an upgrade somewhere on the left side of the infield with Carpio, maybe. I don't know. But take a look at the final team statistics. So we'll start with the lineups first, sort by OPS. And let's actually just take a look first to see how Sosa and Albies ended up doing. So in 60 games for the Miami Marlins, Sosa slashed 261, 385, 498, 883 OPS. He hit 14 home runs, 35 RBI, struck out 60 times, walked 42. We will have a full season of him next year, which I'm looking forward to. And we're only paying like $2 million for him, which is fantastic. Albies, meanwhile, with us in 59 games started. He slashed 250, 300, 356. So he really tailed off. So I'm kind of hoping that trade was not for naught. I'm kind of hoping he can kind of perform more like he has the past several years with the Braves. I'm hoping this was kind of just like a fluke. He had 4 stolen bases with us, 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, 31 strikeouts to 15 walks. Now, just guys that have been with us the entire season. Roy Bell had another solid year. He had 26 home runs. He OPS'd above 800, a 116 OPS plus. He stole 14 bases. He was caught 11 times. He had 37 doubles, 98 strikeouts, 41 walks. Mike Anderson also OPS'd over 800, 292, 335, 469 slash, 17 homers. He stole 16 bases. He was the team leader. 124 strikeouts, 41 walks. Luis Estrada, he hit only 236, but he OPS'd close to 800 because of the 32 home runs and 31 doubles. He was close to a 2-win player. Ben Melee had an okay season, I suppose. 261, 321, 438, triple slash, 21 home runs. He had 13 stolen bases. He was only caught 4 times, so he was a lot more efficient than guys like Roy Ball or Anderson. Luis Carpio, we've talked about it. He had a very rough year. He only OPS'd at 632. And Vasquez, he is primarily our defensive catcher, so I'm not too concerned about how he does. Pitching-wise, it was a hell of a year. Doherty and Garrett were fantastic. Mejia was great after we put him into the rotation. Delgado was great in his rookie season, never pitched above AA, but now he has earned a spot in our rotation. And you see the 3+ pitches now, they have developed. The movement is fine. The control looks to be pretty good. The stuff is great. So he has earned a spot in our rotation. And Bauman, he did well when we put him back in the rotation. He pitched to a 3.50 ERA after we called him back up. So we don't have to worry about pitching this offseason. Any money that we have, it needs to be we need to use it on the lineup, I think. Any of the assets that we have, any of the money we have to use them on the lineup, because that's clearly the issue. This isn't just a one-season thing. You remember last year the offense was anemic as well, and I thought I had fixed it, but clearly I did not. So we're going to need to find upgrades for the lineup just so this offense can perform a little better, because you figure, like, if we don't go 2-8 over that 10-game stretch in August, we're probably in the playoffs. If we don't start slow in April, we're probably in the playoffs. If we don't lose that, go on that 5-game losing streak in September, we're probably in the playoffs. And that's the tough thing. Like, we were so close, but clearly the one thing that was holding us back was the lineup. So this offseason, we need to upgrade the lineup by any means possible. So we will have to see if we can do just that. So I will simulate up until the end of the playoffs, see who wins the World Series, and then we can go from there. Hopefully that sounds good. So I'll see you guys again at the end of October. All right, the postseason is over. The Houston Astros won the first World Series in team history, defeating the Colorado Rockies in 6 games. The Astros have made the playoffs now 9 consecutive years, but this is the first time they were finally able to go all the way as they defeat the Rockies, who had a very potent offense, not surprisingly. They scored 888 runs. That was first in the NL, and I imagine by quite a long shot. So the Astros won. I was taking a look at the LCS. The Indians blew a 3-1 lead. They were up 3-1 over the Astros, but they ended up losing 3 straight games, which is funny because in the last episode I said that the Indians would, well, not the last episode, but the last postseason, I said that it's pretty, surprising that the Indians would blow a 3-1 lead, because that's not something that I would think of when I think of the Indians. It's not like the Indians have ever been in a situation where they've had a 3-1 lead on the biggest stage ever, and then they blew it. That's just not something that's ever happened to them. And now they've done it in 2 consecutive postseasons, believe it or not, which it's just very weird. Like, the Indians, I don't think, would ever blow a 3-1 lead in real life. I don't think that would ever happen. But the offseason does start tomorrow, so let's simulate up ahead. Salary arbitration, I imagine, is not going to be very fun for us. But hopefully we'll get more money since we had a very good season, and maybe our owner will be happy with us, and then we'll get more money. Our season score this year is 375. This is not a very good score. You can do better. I mean, it's the best season we had in quite a while. Actually, let me just make sure that, okay. I just want to make sure that the budgets were set for the assistant GM, because during the season I turn it to myself. That way I can set the ticket prices. But just during the offseason, when the budgets are getting set, I just let the assistant GM do that. So I see my contract was extended. Review of season goals. I did expect a little bit more from you. Finishing up 84 and 78 is certainly nothing to write home about. I mean, considering how bad this team has been, I'd like maybe a little more, appreciation for what I've done. Not only did you fail to find an upgrade at third base, I looked through our roster and can't even figure out who you plan to play there going forward. Okay. I told you defensive efficiency was important to shore up, and I'm thrilled that you accomplished that. He's upset that we did not re-sign Bobby Wall. When I asked you to find a better power hitter, I did not have Edmundo Sosa in mind, but he's not bad, but I was hoping for a slightly better upgrade. I mean, dude hit 35, how many home runs last year? He hit 21, 30, he hit 35 home runs last year. That's a pretty good power hitter, buddy. So we got our attendance up again. He thinks the Marlins can reach the postseason by 2027. So next year, he wants us to reach the playoffs, improve the team batting average, sign Familia to an extension, acquire a nationally popular player, so maybe that's the infielder that we'll get, and keep building the team up to reach the playoffs in the next 2 seasons. New budget, we have $100 million for team payroll. Whoa! We are balling this offseason, homies. We actually have some money. Contract extension, 1 year, $1.6 million a year. Can I just work for free and just put that money towards the team? I'd be happy to do that. So the Athletics need a new manager, it would seem. The Mariners need a new manager, the Pirates need a new manager, and the Diamondbacks need a new general manager. So Juan Ochoa option year needed. He was not very good for us, so we're going to void that last contract year. We're not going to bring back Ochoa. We don't need him. Avalon, I would not be opposed to bringing back. He was solid in a lefty role for us, so I think I will bring him back. It's only $3.3 million, so I will execute that option. Estrada opt. Now, this is kind of a tough one because I don't... $18 million, that's a lot of money, but he hasn't really declined yet. I mean, the contact's starting to go down, but still, he's only 32 years old. Man, he's hit 30 home runs at least the past 2 seasons. I don't know. That's a tough one. We'll see where we're at after salary arbitration. Let's worry about that later. Familia, $3.6 million. I would not be opposed to bringing him back. He was solid for us, so I think I will execute that option as well. So let's take a look at salary arbitration. I'm not really looking forward to it. Yep. So Doherty. Okay, well, Doherty doesn't want as much as I thought he would. So offer extension. So he only wants a 1-year deal, unfortunately. I kind of wonder if Garrett wants more than a 1-year deal because I would love to give it to him, try to lock him up. Because I know some of you said try to give him a team-friendly deal, and I tried, trust me, in the middle of the season, but it just was not working out. So his arbitration estimate is, 6.25? So I kind of want to see if he would maybe just take 6 out of curiosity. Yes, he would. Okay. So that is that. So we get Doherty back, and actually before we do that, and actually just to save some time, I'm just going to simulate up ahead because that way I have some time because I don't want to waste any time. I want to get into free agency and just see who we can get to improve the team. So I'm going to simulate up ahead until we get some news regarding who we got back, award winners, all that stuff like that. All right, free agency filings are tomorrow. We got back everyone that we wanted, including, as you see there, Michael Baumann. I decided to void the last contract year on Estrada's contract just because, I mean, it's a lot of. I just want to see how much money we're going to have and who's going to be in the free agent market. Now, if we want him back, we'll get him back because I would not be against bringing him back. I just want to see who's on the free agent market first before I make that decision. But the awards were handed out. Gold Glove Award first in the AL, Aaron Loop, Gary Sanchez, Chaney Rogers, Emmanuel Sanchez, Caleb Cowart, Francisco Lindor, Eric Oltmans, Jaron Kendall, and Chris Hawkins. And in the NL, Luis Nogueira, Austin Hedges, Anthony Rizzo, Carter Kieboom, Jordan Groshans. So I'm going to say we kind of won a Gold Glove since Groshans won it, although it says he's with the Braves, obviously. So I'm going to say we kind of won a Gold Glove there. Delvin Perez, Dustin Fowler, Simon Muzziotti, and Luis San Miguel. Reliever of the year in the AL was Brad Hand, followed by Juan Trujillo and Edwin Diaz. And in the NL, it was Trevor Rogers, followed by Alex Claudio and Diego Medina. Silver Slugger Awards in the AL, Francisco Mejia, Jose Abreu, Raul Mondesi, Joey Gallo, Sergio Salgado, Luis Arroyo, Jeremy McLean, Nomar Mazara, and Fernando Perez. And in the NL, it was Henry Owens, Wilson Contreras, Anthony Rizzo, Jody Dempsey, Chris Bryant, Brendan Rodgers, Alderem Corredor, Kevin Rivera, and Seth Beer. And let's see, best rookie. So in the AL, it was Luis Arroyo, followed by Chris Roberts and DJ Bastion. And in the NL, it was Kevin Jacobs, followed by Dave Shields and Dan Summers. Best manager in the AL was AJ Hinch. Best manager in the NL was Ken Ryan. AL Cy Young Award was Shintaro Fujinami, followed by Brad Hand, a reliever. and Cody Medeiros of the Angels. Cy Young Award in the NL was Noah Syndergaard. Eric Doherty and Braxton Garrett finished second and third behind Noah Syndergaard. Ah, damn it. That's rough. That is rough. The strikeout numbers killed Doherty and Garrett. They did not have nearly as many strikeouts as Syndergaard had. Man, that is rough. I mean, you can't hate it. I mean, Syndergaard is a stud. But what are you going to do? Wow. Yeah, but still, it's nice to see Doherty and Garrett up there getting consideration, finishing second and third. MVP in the American League was Sergio Salgado, followed by Mazar and Lindor. And in the NL, it was Corredor, followed by Rizzo and Syndergaard. We did not make the playoffs in the AFL, unfortunately. Arbitration hearings, that is that. So let's see who is going to hit the free agent market and how much money we're going to have. Hopefully we have a decent amount. I think we will. Because I know... Okay, so let's see. International free agents. Hopefully, like, that second baseman or shortstop is good. So here's a pitcher, but he's a relief pitcher. And we don't really need any pitchers anyway, so there's not really any bats here in this free agent market. He has 70 grade power, but... Yeah, all right, yeah. We're not going to... I mean, we don't need outfielders anyway, so that is that. Let's see, some of the top names, Jose De Leon, Blake Rutherford, Caleb Cowart, Akil Baddoo. I tried actually trading for him, believe it or not. Chris Sale, Andrew Benintendi. Ooh, Benintendi is interesting. Has he completely fallen off a cliff yet? No, and he's not wrecked either. That's something. He usually is wrecked. How much money did he want? $22 million, and he's compensation. Robert Selman, Bobby Bradley. Would not be against Bobby Bradley. How much does he want? $22 million. Jarrell Cotton and Salvador Perez. All right, so let's see who is here in the free agent market, because we basically know what we need. Taking a look at the lineup here, we just need someone to replace Carpio, because Carpio can become our backup case. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so Carpio can become one of our backup infielders, but we need someone better in the lineup. If there's a catcher out there, too, I would not be against doing that and making Vasquez a backup, potentially. I don't know. But let's see here who is available. I'm looking at all players. Go all the way up. Austin Hedges is available. He wants $8 million, so nope. It does not appear that there's like a Francisco Mejia type catcher available, which is all good. There's Yasmani Grandal, but that's not really the type of offensive guy that I'm looking for. So let's see who's available. Riley Pint is available. Benintendi, Bobby Bradley. So we have $17 million. Do we really? I thought that we would have had like a lot more. I want to go to front office and salaries. How much are we paying guys next year? 18.5. He's not on the roster anymore. Why do we still have that? I said I was going to void the last. What the heck? I said void the last contract year. Did I not? Okay, well, I guess we have Luis Estrada. Okay. Could have sworn I said void the last contract year. What the heck? I said void the last contract year for him too. Why is he still on the books? These guys are still on the books. They should not be. All right, I'm going to try to figure this out. Hold on. All right, so I actually stopped the other recording just so, because this is the one recording that I have, the first half of this episode. So look this. So, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy, and you see Juan Ochoa. Look at this. We go to here and look. We don't click execute accidentally. We do click void the last contract year. And yet he's still on the books. And then I want to see... Hold on one second. I want to try to find where I declined Luis Estrada's player option. So hold on one second. All right, now this is where I declined Luis Estrada's player option. So you see here, I'm just looking over it, kind of contemplating. And I click void last contract year. And it doesn't work. I don't understand what I did wrong there. So I don't know. Wait, am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, these guys should not be on the book still. So that's, I don't know what happened there. I'm a little concerned because now I might need to go into commissioner mode because I did not want to bring these guys back. There's a reason, especially Ochoa, because we don't need them. So I think this is going to be one of those times. This is why I didn't go into challenge mode, just in case anything like this ever happened. I'm going to go into this. I'm going to go into commissioner mode. And now I'm going to go into pitching staff. Or not pitching staff. I want to go to my salaries. Where am I going? Salaries, because I said I did not want to bring Ochoa back. So I need to go to what? How do I do this? Where does it say contract? Contract signed in year, length. clear all. No. So how do I do this? Contract signed in year 2026. Contract length in years. Salary, player opt-out. Maybe, can I do... If I do that, because I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So if I do that, and then maybe I go back to salaries, does it work there? Yes, it does. So now he is no longer there, which is good, I think. Right? Yeah, because now we're back down to 70. I'm just trying to see where... Is he still on the team somewhere? Yeah, he's still on the team. And it says he is making $0 this year, but I don't want that. I want him on the free agent market. So release the player. Yeah. Okay, so now he's on the free agent market. Now Estrada, I did not want to bring back. So Estrada is a guy. Now I got to go into the editor for him. So I guess I have to do this. I guess I have to do it this way. I got to go $0. And then now I have to go to the roster. And let me just make sure it says $0. Yes, it does. So now I guess I have to release him. Release. Do you want to release Luis Estrada? Yes. Yep, that probably would not have been... Yeah, I figured the fans probably would not have been too happy with that. So if I go to front office and salaries, we should have more... Okay, good. So now we're only spending $52.2 million. That's why I did not do challenge mode for this. That's why I wanted to go into commissioner mode, just on the off chance that anything like that happened. I wanted it to do that. So let me just make sure. Are we out of commissioner mode? Yes, we are. Okay. So we're out of commissioner mode. So now if we go back to free agency, we should have a lot more money to spend. And let's take a look. Okay, that's more like it. Yes, because I knew we had money to spend. It's just like it doesn't just, go anywhere. So now look at that. Now Estrada, he only wants $13 million. Oh, okay. We seem to be too far apart. All right, well, fair enough. I guess when you just first release the guy, he doesn't want to come back, which is fair. So I'm going to look through this free agent market, see maybe if we could find some upgrades here. I see Jose Abreu is still kicking around. How did he do last year? He did pretty good. Wow, 47 home runs. Wow, oh my goodness. Yeah, but I'm going to, I think, just shop around, see if we can find some improvements to the lineup. And when we do, I will come back. All right, it is Sunday, December 21st, 2025, and you have missed a lot. I made several moves that I think will help the team win next year, get over the hump, and hopefully you guys will like them as well. So I made one trade. I made two free agent signings. Yeah, I made two free agency signings. And I made 2 Rule 5 draft picks that should help the team win next year, in my opinion. But, of course, the only way is to wait and see if the team does well next year. But I will go over the trade first. And we made a trade with the Cleveland Indians, the same Cleveland Indians that blow a 3-1 lead every year. So we traded 27-year-old left fielder Ben Maile, 21-year-old minor league starting pitcher Ernesto Becerril, 24-year-old minor league right fielder, 24-year-old right fielder Juan Roybal, 26-year-old second baseman Cash Case, and 36-year-old reliever Luis Avalon to the Cleveland Indians for 32-year-old second baseman Fernando Perez, and they are going to retain 80% of his close to $30 million salary. So this was centered around Maile, who they're going to make a second baseman to replace Perez. Roybal, they needed a young outfielder. I gave them Roybal. And Cash Case, this was centered around them as well. So it was tough to get rid of Maile. You remember he was the guy in the Tampa Bay trade a while back, but I was just not thoroughly impressed with his production at the major league level, so I figured I'd sell high on him while his value was still there, while he's not making a ton of money, while he's still young. I'd sell high on the kid, and maybe he breaks out in Cleveland, who knows, but I figured I'd trade him away and see, best of luck to him. Of course, he was one of the top prospects in all of baseball at one point. You see there, number 11 prospect in all of baseball at one point, but we decided to trade him. Roybal, definitely tough to get rid of. Homegrown talent. We signed him just as a wee 16-year-old, and now he is 24 years old. So he's been through a lot with us here in this organization. We signed him way back in 2018, believe it or not. So he was one of our best offensive threats the past few years. You see his rookie year was pretty good. He only improved the following year, and last year he did extremely well also. So it was tough to get rid of the guy, but you have to give up talent to get talent, and I was at a position where I could afford to get rid of my two young starting outfielders who had numerous years of team control left. I was at a position where I could do that. So we got rid of them. Cash Case, they wanted, I guess, just as a backup infielder. He's a super utility guy. He can play second and short really well. He can kind of play center. He can play almost any position. Not necessarily well, but it's another guy that was tough to get rid of. But I was at a position where I could do that. Avalon, they wanted as a throw-in reliever or one left-handed reliever out of the bullpen. So I figured, why not? And then they just wanted this young starting pitcher as a throw-in, I guess a lottery ticket type prospect. So I figured, why not? I will help them out there. And in return, we get Fernando Perez, one of the best offensive threats in all of baseball right now. Now, he doesn't have a ton of speed. We will be having him at third base, not first base. We will be playing him at third base, but still out of the past, you see 4 seasons, he has not OPS'd below 921. Just a very, very great offensive threat. His home run totals the past 5 seasons, 52, 41, 43, 51, 36. He can draw walks. He doesn't strike out a ton. So his strikeout to walk ratio is fine. And as I said, they're going to eat 90% of his salary. So we're not paying $27.4 million for this guy. We're only paying about $5 million. So we get another guy for cheap in exchange for giving up, really talented players. It was tough to get rid of Melee and Roy Bal, just 2 young starting outfielders with years of team control. They're not making a ton of money like this guy is, but I figured the offense is what was holding us back, so I'm going to make upgrades how I see fit, and this was one of the ways that I saw. You'll recall that I said that I needed to find an upgrade at third base, and Perez is going to be that guy who's going to be our upgrade at third base. He's a 2-time World Series champion. He's won World Series MVP. He's won a couple Most Valuable Player awards in 2020 and 2024. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2019. He's been an All-Star 2021, 2020, 2022, 23, 24, so he was not one last year. He has won a Silver Slugger 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So ever since he came into the league, Perez has won a Silver Slugger each year, so he should definitely help out the lineup. Now, the 2 free agency signings that I made, if we go to our transaction log here, major transactions log, we signed free agent Bobby Bradley to a 4-year contract worth $80 million. He can opt out after this season, so I'm kind of taking a risk that he's going to want to stay here, but still $20 million. The last year is a player option as well, so hopefully he doesn't completely fall off a cliff. He is 29 years old. Another guy you've seen that has won an MVP award, that one in 2023. He's won numerous Silver Sluggers. He is a World Series champion. He has a World AL Division Series MVP, AL Division Series MVP. He's been a 2-time All-Star. He was a Rookie of the Year at one point in 2020. Take a look at his profile. Strikeouts are an issue for him, but 75 grade home run power. He's going to slot right into where Estrada was, and he's considered one of the team leaders. Now, another guy that's not exceptional defensively, so our defensive efficiency is probably going to take a hit this year, but still, the lineup is what was holding this team back. It was nothing else. It was just the lineup, so I wanted to improve the lineup this year. This was the guy that hit 70 home runs just 2 years ago in 2023, and it's hard to pass up on that. He's OPS to 853 last year, which is an off year for him. 2024, he OPS'd over 1,000. 2023, he OPS just a tick under 1,000 at 999, and he's just been one of the better offensive threats in all of baseball since his call-up, so I signed him. The other guy I signed was Andrew Benintendi, a free agent left fielder. We signed him to a 5-year deal worth $109.35 million. Now, he's another guy that can opt out after 2026, so I have to hope he wants to stay here in Miami for the long haul, a team option for the 2030 season if he does end up staying. He's been in the major leagues for 9 years. He's not wrecked. Normally by this point in most of my saves, his injury proneness is pretty bad, but for whatever reason, it's not bad right now. a guy that has been a consistent offensive threat ever since he was called up by the Boston Red Sox many years ago, 2017, 2016. I don't know. I imagine that they would have had him playing here in 2017 unless he got injured. But regardless, consistent offensive threat. He put up an 8-win season in 2023, a 7.7 win season in 2021. Now, I doubt he's ever going to get back to that level. You see, the past couple of years, he's kind of tailed off just a bit from those years, but he's still been really good. He's OPS'd over 800 each of these past 3 years, despite not putting up those high WAR ratings. But I figured, the reason for that, he hasn't played a lot of games either. You see, 2024, I just realized this too, he only played 48 games. 2024, yeah, that's what happened. So he got traded from the Red Sox to the Mets. So that's what happened. Okay. So, yeah, in total, he put up, what was that be? Like close to a 3-win season in 2024. He put up a 2.3-win season last year. So some people might think decline, but I don't think he's declining. Another guy, he won Rookie of the Year. He's not won an MVP, but a 4-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger Award winner. Just 2 years ago, he won a Silver Slugger. So we're going to take a chance on him. Doesn't really have a ton of speed, but he can run on the bases. He can steal if he needs to. He's solid defensively. And that is that. Now, we also made a couple of Rule 5 picks. I believe they'll show up here. So we drafted the starting pitcher, Jorge Mongoose Vargas, a leader in the clubhouse in the first round of the Rule 5 draft. It seems like this guy could be an ace. The only thing really holding him back is his movement, but potential 80 grade stuff. He's only 25 years old, 60 grade control, 4+ pitches with the fastball, the cutter, the changeup, and the circle change. He did pretty well in the minor leagues. Last year, he struck out 8 batters per 9 innings. He was only walking 2.5, a 1.28 whip, 154 strikeouts, 48 walks at the AA level for Portland. He was in the Red Sox organization, and he might have actually been in the Benintendi trade because it said they acquired him from the Mets. So I guess they acquired him in the Benintendi trade. This guy's going to slot into our rotation as our number 5 starting pitcher, and if nothing else, he'll probably become a nice bullpen piece, but I want to see if he can make it as a starter first. I mean, really intriguing ratings. We'll have to just wait and see. The other guy I drafted just to be a lefty in the bullpen, Ramon Perez, solid rating, 60 grade stuff and movement, 55 grade control, 2+ pitches in the fastball and the curveball. He could be a spot starter if we really, really need him to, but he's never going to be a starter long-term just because he only has 2 pitches. The changeup will never develop. So, decent team who loves chili dogs. Can't hate on him for that. Ground ball pitcher sits at 95-97, only 26 years old. So, if we take a look at our salaries for your Miami Marlins, with all this talent that we have, we are sitting at $93.6 million. You recall that we could spend roughly $100 million this year in player payroll. And we are still paying for Giancarlo Stanton's contract. He's still on the Toronto Blue Jays. And actually, someone brought up, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now off the top of my head. I know your last name's Alexander. I know that. That I do like a special episode one day where I just go through all the trades I've made just to see analyze them from both teams' point of view, see maybe who won the trade, potentially just like how it worked out for both teams. So if you guys would be interested in that, I'd definitely be interested in doing it. So just let me know down below if you'd be interested in something like that. But yeah, we're still paying for Stanton's contract. We have a pretty good team for $93.6 million, if I do say so myself. Taking a look at our pitching staff, we'll have Eric Doherty, Braxton Garrett, Brian Mejia, Jorge Delgado, and Jorge Vargas. So a couple Jorges there. Hip, hip, Jorge. We will have Sixto Sanchez, Jurius Vermillion, Alex Faedo as our stoppers. Austin Becker, Ramon Perez, Franklin Colomb, Austin Bergener, and Michael Ballman will be in middle relief. Not too sure what I'm going to do with Talbot. And looking at our lineup, we will have Vasquez at catcher, Bradley at first, Albies at second, Perez at third, Sosa at short, Benintendi in left, Anderson in center, and Kinnan Muddert. So this was the guy that we called up to replace Juan Roybal. And the ratings, for all intents and purposes, are roughly the same. They're both really good contact hitters, good gap power. They don't, Roybal had more home run power than Muddert has, and he had a better eye, but still, Muddert can avoid strikeouts. He's got speed like Roybal had. Defensively, Roybal was a little bit better, but still, I'm willing to take the chance that Muddert can be, at least somewhat solid. He did well in AA last year in 512 at-bats. That's a big enough sample size for me to call him up. I don't need him at AAA. This guy's ready to come up. So that was our second-round pick in 2021, so he's going to be in right field. Now, the one issue with the team right now is that we're very left-handed heavy in the lineup. and even on the bench as well. I mean, Cortez is a left-handed bat. Yeah. So our lineup right now, what I'm thinking, Mike Anderson leading off, followed by Edmundo Sosa, Andrew Benintendi, Bobby Bradley, Fernando Perez, Ozzy Albies, Kenan Muddart, and Christian Vasquez. That's the most potent lineup we have ever had in this save, which is fantastic. And then that pitching staff, it was, the best in the league last year, arguably. We had two guys finish second and third in Cy Young voting, and the bullpen was great. I mean, you see first in runs against, second in starters ERA, first in bullpen ERA. I'd be kind of stupid, naive to believe that that'll happen again next year, but still, even if they take like a small step back, the offense being as good as it's going to be, they'll take that. So, and I see Luis Estrada ended up going to the Mets, so that's good for him. But that's going to do it here for episode number 27. We are officially all in here in Miami. We finally finished over 500 for the first time since 2009, so we are now going all in by making these two free agent signings, the trade that we made to get Perez. We're all in, so hopefully it does work out. Be sure to let me know what you think of everything in this episode. I just want to thank you all for watching. I'll catch you again in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.